Cool. So we are talking today about abundance, and this is such an exciting topic and a big topic and a challenging topic. And we were talking about this earlier. Oh, for you, those of you who don't know Stephanie, this is Stephanie. I feel like people know you by now, our head coach, our head mindset specialist in the Plant Empowered Coaching Program. And yes, so we have been enjoying doing these little mini trainings, I guess you could call them.
Yeah, they're so much fun.
They are so much fun. So yes, today's about abundance. We were chatting, we were kind of thinking of the topic of what today would be about. We were saying, you know, that's a great one because number one, it's challenging, and it's been definitely a challenge for me my whole life. And I feel like just in the last couple of years, I've started to get a grip on living in abundance and what that really means and how that can affect our lives and our futures and ourselves from a very deep place. What were your thoughts when we started talking about abundance?
You know, it is such a thrilling topic, but it is so hard to wrap your head around it because we don't make decisions out of a place of abundance. We don't, I mean, for a long time, I didn't understand what that even meant, you know, and I kept thinking, well, that's more of that kind of pop psychology kind of thing. And so I was very resistant to the idea. But when we started talking about, you know, doing this, and definitely this is something that we cover in the coaching program too. And it's just so exciting, you know, to think about really living your life from that place rather than from a place of scarcity. And I'm so glad we're doing this.
Me too. And, you know, when we think about abundance, I think for me, my whole life, and I mentioned this in the, oh, by the way, let me just say, comment you guys throughout this video, throughout this talk, comment, ask questions. We're gonna do our best to answer any questions that you have or address any comments or questions. So definitely do that. And just so everybody knows, you know, we're gonna reference the Plant Empowered Coaching Program quite a bit throughout this, is because this is, you know, these trainings kind of give you just a little bit of a taste of the topics and the themes that we cover throughout the program. And so these talks, for somebody who just needs a little, you know, different perspective, you know, these might be enough for some people to gain that other perspective and move on. But for a lot of people, you know, we need something bigger. We need something that's structured and engaged and constant support, and somebody reaching out to you as opposed to you always having to reach out, and to really keep your head in the game. And I say the game because we talk about playing life like a game. And so it's really a very powerful process that we go through, and it's very structured and strategically structured to help us not only make changes to our bodies, which a lot of people come into the program wanting to do, but we do that in a very different way. And so talking about abundance, you know, is like, how does that relate to a vegan lifestyle? Mm-hmm. And all of this has everything to do with the vegan lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle, and that starts within our minds. And it doesn't turn into a lifestyle if we are relying on willpower. That's not a lifestyle. When we're relying on willpower, we are we're on a wagon, right? That we're always teetering on this wagon, and we're afraid to fall off of it. And that's not a lifestyle. Where we are helping our clients get to is a place where there's no wagon to fall off of. And I think that's the most exciting part, because I felt for 15 years of my life, I was teeter-tottering on that wagon, falling off, jumping back on, falling off, jumping back on, even as a vegan. But what are your thoughts about that, Stephanie?
No, I think so too. I think that the wagon is a perfect analogy, because that's what we try to stick to when we're looking at it as a diet, and we're looking at it only through the light of food. When we look at it as an entire lifestyle change, and we look at it as we make these decisions based on our values, that's really the essence of living from abundance. Is you figure out who you are, you figure out what you find important, And then you make your decisions, and it just permeates every aspect of your life.
Yes. And when we talk about abundance, I think for a lot of people, including myself, money comes to mind, because most of us that's a very scarce resource for
Yeah.
so many of us, right? So we want that money, and there's nothing wrong with wanting money, but wanting money is not going to get us money, right? And it's not going to get us what we're looking for from that money. And I want to start with a parable. And I hope I get this right, because it kind of goes to the essence of what we're talking about here. And it's a Zen parable. For most, if you don't know me, I'm very in line with the Zen principles. My dad's actually a Buddhist himself, and he teaches meditation to death row inmates. He's just a fascinating, awesome human being. Hi, Christian. We got Christian here as well. Welcome. So, parable. Help us open up into this abundance thing. So there's this guy, and I don't know if I get this just right, so don't hold me to it, but a guy comes to a Zen farmer, okay? And he asks the farmer for a job. And the farmer says, okay, I'll give you a job, but I'm not gonna pay you money. So what is it that you really want? And the guy says, well, I actually really need money because I really need food. And the Zen farmer says, okay, well, I'll give you food. I can give you food, but you can't eat it. So what is it that you really want? And that took some thought, but the guy came back with, it's not so much about the food, it's about safety. It's about security. It's about being able to live from a place of freedom and purpose. And so he's kind of trying to explain this to the farmer, and the farmer says, well, I can't give you that because you already have it. So it kind of, brings things down to what it is that you really want, right? Is it really that money's going to make you happy? What do you want to experience? What do you want to embody from when you get that money? Because happiness, and we talked about this before, is not on the other side of anything. The thing is, everything, an abundance of everything is within us right now. And that's the thing. And we have to, though, look inside. We're always looking outside to, scoop up abundance of anything. We're searching for what we can do, what actions we can take to create abundance. But what is it that you truly want? I want to feel empowered. I want to feel free. I want to feel joyful. I want to feel fulfilled in my life. These are the things that I want. And all of that is available to me right now. And it's about accessing it. It's about unlocking it. And how amazing is it to think that that's all here, right now? You know what I mean?
It really is mind-blowing, because we do have ourselves in this cycle of, I will be happy when, or we only look at what we think we need to be happy or to be content or be peaceful, be secure, whatever it is. We don't really ever look beyond that surface. And, I feel this is such a great parable. And I feel like you're the one who did that for me. I feel like I came into the program and I thought I wanted to be skinny. But what I really wanted to do, I wanted peace. I wanted freedom. I wanted to feel like a badass every single day of my life. And that is, that it really is just so revolutionary. So revolutionary.
What was it, Stephanie, for you going through the program was there a light bulb moment that made you say, okay, that isn't what I really want?
Yes.
What happened?
So, how you do handstands everywhere?
I do.
Yeah, and I love it. And I remember seeing you do a handstand on a beach, and it was gorgeous. I mean, just, you were beautiful. The beach was beautiful. Everything about it was beautiful. And I remember seeing that and thinking all of those things, thinking, there's my friend Ella. She's beautiful, and really appreciating this picture and appreciating who you are. And not until about 10 minutes later did I realize that I never once doubted myself admiring your beauty because I didn't have to anymore. I didn't have to compare myself to you. And when I analyzed that further, what I realized was that your body is gorgeous, just beautiful. And that isn't what I want for me. You know, it's not that I don't want to have a beautiful body and want to view myself as beautiful, but there are other things in my life that I want that are different. I don't want to do a handstand. That isn't something that I want to work towards. But yet I can admire you for doing it and not take away from myself.
Wow.
And that was the real moment that I realized, I almost cussed. Holy crap. This is so different. This is so different than who I used to be. Because before that, even somebody in line that in a grocery store that I perceived as being more good looking, more together, that would have caused me a tailspin because I would have been in this comparison mode. But that's where we come from, scarcity.
Right. Yes.
Instead of looking at it as I am who I am and I like me and I love who I am, and I lack something because the person next to me has something different than I do. That's ridiculous. But it's something that that a lot of us are so locked into.
We're so wired. We are so conditioned and wired to be right there. And that's why it's not as easy. That's why we talk about Band-Aids to try to work through these, because it takes more than a quote. You know, I mean, they're all great quotes. I love using quotes. They're powerful, but it takes a lot more than a quote to change a brain, which has been conditioned for decades to just see the world that way, in that perspective. And, you know, if you think about it, humans are going for one thing, and it's not material goods. It's a state of being. It's a sense of connectedness with the world. It's a sense of oneness. And you can only get there by saying, I am a part of something bigger and I'm worthy. Like I can be accepted. I can accept myself. And only once you get there and then are able to kind of connect to the universe around you, that you can start to then materialize that state of being. And that can be manifested in different ways, but it all starts inside. And I'll give a little example. So if you're watching, and hello, let me not ignore everybody. I get so like, excited about what I'm talking to. So hello, Jamie. Hi guys, Terry, Laura. Very great to have you guys with us. So imagine this, if you're listening right now. I give you a call and you pick up the phone and I say, hey, Stephanie, I have great news for you. You ready for this? You ready? You ready?
So ready. So ready.
You played the lottery, right? Well, you won. You won the lottery. You won $20 million.
Love it.
Okay, so if somebody called me, I would be psyched out of my head, you feel joy, you feel that sense of freedom, you feel elation, you feel excitement, you feel a world of opportunity and possibilities, right? And these feelings are real. But then you get another call and I say, Stephanie, I'm so sorry. You're the wrong Stephanie. That wasn't you who won the lottery. Mm-hmm. So if you think about that, nothing happened, nothing was real, yet you really felt joy. You really felt excitement, right? So that power has nothing to do with the world around us.
Right.
Right? Isn't that cool?
It is. It is. It's all within.
It's all within. It's all within. And it's that story that we tell ourselves that we can't be happy until we're skinny. We can't be happy until we get that job that we want. We can't be happy, until we find the right partner, but there's no happiness in the future and there's no happiness in the past. There's only happiness now.
Yeah.
And once we get that though, you know, and I'm not saying can't strive to be wealthy financially. We can't, it's not that say we can't strive to do that. I'm striving to have options in my life. You know, I want to travel, you know, and all of that money will help me get there, right? But if I'm focused on money, I'm not going to ever get there. I need to be focused on what is going to bring me true happiness and fulfillment. And then it will manifest as money if I truly believe that. And I think that's where so many of us get stuck, is that we just look outside and outside and outside. And it makes us make decisions out of fear.
Yeah.
It makes us not be true to ourselves or authentic. It takes us out of integrity. You know, there are all these things that happen because of that, and there are no positive consequences that come out of that. You know what I mean?
I do. And I think it goes back to that belief that you're not enough.
Yeah.
Because we are so conditioned to believe that we're not enough. You know, there's always a new wrinkle cream, or there's a new diet, or there's a wealth management plan, or, you know, there's always something new but it's always external, because we are conditioned to believe that as we are is just simply not good enough. It's not enough. And until we believe that we are enough, we really can't manifest these things. I mean, because nothing will ever be enough if we don't really believe that we're enough in the moment, right as we are, no questions asked. That doesn't mean that we can't strive for things, like you said.
Yes.
But it does mean that if you strive for something and you get there, if you really don't have that core belief in place, then when you get there, that's not going to be enough. And there's really no end to it. And how sad it would be to live a life like that, where it's never enough.
Exactly. You know who I think of? I won't say her name, although I don't think she would mind. I'll say, we'll call her Jay. But Jay came into the Plant Empowered Coaching Program several months ago, quite a number of months ago now. And she was in a really tough place, you know, in her life. There was so much stress. She had moved in with her mom, she was a single mother. She didn't have a job. She was really feeling down and out. And her self-worth, self-love, that was all pretty garbage, you know, but she knew she was looking at the bigger picture. And when we had our breakthrough call, she's like, Ella, like, I know there's a bigger picture, and I know there's something bigger out there for me, and that it's not just about finding a job. It's not just about, you know, but I need help. I need help getting there. And so we found a way, we got resourceful, found a way for her to invest in herself by investing in the program. I helped her figure that out, and wow, she has never looked back for a second. And since then, the world that's opened up for her, because she came in not thinking about, you know, how she was going to get her job. She came in thinking about, how can I put everything I have into the process that you're coaching me through? Yeah. You know, she put her heart and I like want to cry because I think I am going to cry. She put everything into this. And within, what was it, a month and a half?
6 weeks. It was 6 weeks. Things just started. The world started opening up for her. And she's just this shiny person. You know what I mean? She's this beautiful human being, just as she is. But when she figured out and really believed that about herself, and really started making decisions based on the fact that she knew she was enough, that she knew that she had everything to offer to the world, and knew the direction she wanted to go in that direction. I mean, it's like she's shiny. I don't know how else to put it. That seems weird to say that somebody's shiny, doesn't it? But that's
glowing, like,
perfect description for her. The world, and it just keeps happening for her. I mean, every time I talk to her, there's something new, and she's like, at first it was hard for her to even come up with things that she liked about herself, that was good, that was going on in her life. Now every time I talk to her, she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you about this. Oh, I forgot to tell you about these 5 things. And it's so exciting to be a part of that process, but to watch her grow as a human being and now be able to be bringing that into her son's life.
Oh.
It blows me away. It makes me want to cry.
Yeah. No, it's that amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating here.
It
And
really
just in terms of the manifestation of what happened, and she got her dream job. Like, that's it.
is.
In 6 weeks, like, all of a sudden it appeared to her. And since then she got another job, like, in addition to that, like, she's overwhelmed with the perfect jobs.
Yes.
She's passionate about that she loves doing, because you know what, she just started going through the world with love and confidence, and that feeling that I'm enough and that I have something to offer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what it took. And her body's changing, everything's changing for her. And it's not a coincidence, you know?
No, she opened herself up to the universe, and the universe supplied it. She invested in herself, and she put in a lot of work. You know, she was presented with some pretty big issues to work through, even while she was going through those first 6 weeks, and it just propelled her to this amazing place that just keeps getting more amazing every day. Yeah.
That's just one example. I mean, we could go on and on about example, but the powerful shift that we're talking about here is to shift and say, I'm enough, and everything that I have is enough, and accepting you and where you are and what you have as being enough, because that's where everything lies, is within us. I forgot who said it, but they compared to everything that happens in the world around us as fool's gold. And because the real gold stays right here, and it's always there. And it's just about finding the support, the guidance, finding what you need to access that, and access it on such a consistent basis that it becomes your reality. Because just because you go and say, okay, I'm enough, okay, I'm enough, you know, no, you're not gonna just snap your fingers and believe it. But that's why we go through this long process. That's why we spend 6 months saying that over and over and over again. And that's not easy to do, but that's what it takes to rewire. That's what it takes to embody that. That's what it takes to allow the old thoughts, the old story, you know, that's a story. That's a story that you're not good enough, that you can't have enough, that you're not smart enough to get that job, that you're not, you know, you're not motivated or, motivated enough to work out. You know, these are all stories that we tell ourselves. And the coolest thing about this whole thing and about what we do in the program is that you have the power to rewrite your story and to write a new one moving forward. Like, that's just the coolest thing in the freaking world, because that's power. That's empowerment. That's why this is an empowerment program. We coach people to coach themselves through the rest of their lives.
Yes.
And the value of that, you know, and it is a significant investment in resources. It takes time, it takes money, it takes energy, you know, everybody's limited in resources. But what you get out of that, if you can believe in this principle of gaining abundance through accessing it within, then it's a no-brainer, you know? Yeah,
it really is. And what I really love about our program is that Ella's designed a structure, you've designed this structure, and we provide this support to help you be relentless with your thoughts that aren't serving you, and with helping you to write a new story. And it is just that consistent relentlessness that gets you to where you need and where you want to be in this place of empowerment and freedom. And that's what we do.
That's what we do. Yes, we create abundance from within.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So for those of you listening, we're trying to keep these at around 30 minutes. You know, I know people have limited attention spans. So we're going to try to keep these around 30 minutes, but do them often and cover lots of different topics. So if you guys have any specific topics that you'd like us to cover, please reach out. You can always private message either one of us, write it in the Facebook group. Maybe I'll do a few polls and you guys can chime in about what would be most helpful to you. And we'll just keep these up. I'm hoping to have Jay on before long. I'm hoping she'll agree to come on so that everybody can hear from her themselves. But for you guys, if you're watching and are interested in learning more about the coaching program, what we do and what I do is I actually speak to each and every potential client myself, because my number one goal is to find the people that I feel 1,000% confident are ready and willing to come in and do the work that it takes to get this complete, true mind-body transformation. It's all about starting with the mind, and the body's going to come, you know? So yes, we cover that, the food aspect of this. Yes, we help you make sure you feel like you are confident making choices that are you know, not harming other beings, that are healthy for yourself. But until we get the mindset right, I mean, the food part's the easy part. So, you know, that's in there, yes, but see how we hardly even talk about it, because that's the easy part. Once you really get in tune with your values and what you care about, and that you're enough and that you're worth it, you're worth making those decisions that are going to serve you, then the rest is a piece of cake. But that's what we have to focus on. Laura asked, how do I find out more about the coaching program? Yes, so what I was just saying, I get distracted, is that I speak with everybody to make sure that it's the right fit. And then if it is, then I can really answer all your questions and we can talk about what we need to do to get you started. So you can actually go ahead and apply for a session with me. I'm going to put the link. I should have put that before. I'll put the link right here in the notes, but it's sexyfitvegan.com/apply. And that'll just take you to a scheduling page. You'll be able to book a session with me. You'll fill out a little form to help me get some background information on you. And then we go from there. We have a call and we talk about it. So Laura, book a call. I'd be more than happy to talk with you about this whole thing, and anybody else. So I'll put that link in the notes. And wow. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for doing this again. Thank you all who are here for joining us. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions for either Stephanie and I, and we'll hopefully be back next Wednesday. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Sound good? All right, you guys. Bye.